Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching the Big Bang Theory. This is the 17th episode of the 4th season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you like today's full episode, it is available for in the link in the description below. Just clicking it, put the password in, and enjoy. So very interesting last episode. I actually really enjoyed it. We had 4 females that was involved. We had Priya, Penny, Bernadette, and Amy, as well as obviously we had Raj, Howard, Leonard, and Sheldon. Now, interestingly, it looks like Howard is he's looked like his relationship is on the rocks with Bernadette, because she was basically putting him in a position that he had to choose between herself and his mum, because basically every time that he goes around to her house and they sleep with each other, he always sneaks off and goes back home, and it don't make her feel really well herself. Do you know what I mean? It makes her just feel like she's an object. And he decided, you know what, I'm going to move out, I'm going to move in with Bernadette. And then obviously he brought all of his baggage and expectations and wanted her to wait on him and feed him and do his clothes and take him out, and it put them into a position where he was bickering, and he's ended up moving him back home. Now, interestingly, last episode, Priya, she's staying with Raj for a little bit, and Leonard actually went over, basically said, look, I want to speak to you. Why didn't you tell me you was here in LA? She was saying that it was a bit weird last time they was together. They went into the bedroom, they spent some time together, they spent the night together, and then they declared that they're in a relationship, obviously to Raj's disapproval, which I kind of understand, because, he disapproved of it the first time before he knew that he was an item, and then obviously Leonard's then still gone and proceeded ahead and engaged in a relationship, which I kind of feel sorry for Raj about. But the interesting thing is, now it's kind of made Penny upset, and she's not really happy that, well, she's not happy that he's moving on, but obviously it's making her, kind of maybe regret their relationship ending, and the fact that he's moving on is making her feel sad, and that's obviously give a shoulder for Amy to cry, and that's where we're utilising Amy enough. That's where we're bringing her in. She's being a good friend, she's sitting there, she's talking to her, she's engaging, she's always being there, she's being that bestie, as she was saying, and also using the little situation to her advantage as well, where she's doing a bit of experiments where she's emotional, so then she can proceed to do that on monkeys and animals herself to see if she can generate the same responses as Penny's been doing. So, everybody's getting something out of the episode and really enjoying it. It was a good last one. Hopefully today's is just as good. If you do enjoy it as well, please smash the like, it really helps out, and subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Buonasera. It means good evening in Italian. May I say, having to explain that to you calls into question the authenticity of your ristorante? Oh, for heaven's sake, now you're being deliberately stupid. On Thursdays, everybody comes over here and has pizza. Or a reasonable facsimile prepared by someone claiming to be Luigi, but who sounds suspiciously like Jackie Chan.
Meet the Rajas.
Well, I don't want to go to a party.
It's not a party. It's the same group of people who hang out here, hanging out over there. Everyone's over there. You coming or not?
Well, no, sir. And do you know why? In a word, tradition. Years, you and I and our friends have gathered here in this very spot, discuss the issues of the day, and yes, share a laugh or two.
See you later.
Wait, Leonard, wait! Well, what am I going to do for dinner?
Come with me to Raj's and eat there.
What if he serves haggis and blood pudding? What if he does? I'll be obliged to dine on liver and lungs stuffed in a sheep's stomach.
What do you want to do? Do you want to come with me, or do you want to sit here alone?
No, I'll go to your haggis party. Oh, dear.
What?
Raj's television. I just realized we're about to spend an evening watching a plasma screen with a cluster of dead pixels in the upper left-hand corner.
Hey, you.
Hi.
That's gotta be fun for you, huh? Watching Hofstetter suck the saliva out of your sister's mouth.
Excuse me, before this evening goes any further, we need to decide where everyone's going to sit.
There's no assigned seat, Sheldon. Just sit anywhere. Make yourself comfortable.
Oh, what fun.
Just sit here.
Yeah, right on, man, right on.
Okay, we've got fajitas with all the fixins, so you make your own.
What a wonderful dinner. Some assembly required.
I thought everyone was going to be there, so Penny not going.
Sheldon,
No?
what can I get you?
Water. Neat. With a little umbrella. Evening, I am the Dark Knight, roaming these mean streets alone.
Where's his
Isn't this
umbrella?
the point where the world-weary barkeep absent-mindedly wipes down the bar and coaxes the woes out of the troubled patron?
What's troubling you, buddy?
Because Leonard is dating Raj's sister, we're all forced to hang out at his apartment. Oh, I have to get this.
Sheldon, are you all right? When last we spoke, you were going to take a taxi home from Raj's, but according to Facebook, you just checked in at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yes, I was in a taxi, but the driver didn't look at all like the photograph on his license.
Hi, bestie.
Oh, hi, Amy. How you been?
Fine. From this angle, I can see up your nose.
Sheldon, Leonard is dating Priya. She's staying with Raj. That means you're all probably going to be hanging out there more. Okay, I'm not upset about Leonard and Priya.
To face the fact that Leonard is the nucleus of your social group. Where he goes, the group goes.
I'm the whimsical elf that everyone looks to for a good time.
A lot of people think I'm fun to be around.
Don't be needy, bestie. If it were a town, it would be Leonardville. If it were an Islamic nation, Leonardstan.
Oh, I got one. If you guys were a band, you'd be called Leonard and the Leonards.
Do you know what I actually like about the show, right? Is that they're not afraid. Well, not one sec, not afraid, but it seems like they use the actual technology. So, like, when they FaceTime or whatever you watch Skype, it seems like they're on the computer. Like, how many times do you watch somebody like search something when you're watching a TV show when they're using a fake browser and you could tell that the mouse moving and clicking is just not even them and it's just shit. You know what I mean? Like, where I feel like here, they do use it. I mean, I didn't even know that the iPhone, that's iPhone 1, isn't it? Was it called iPhone 3G? I didn't even know that had FaceTime, if I'm being totally honest. But it did seem like when he was holding the phone to the side, Amy was moving. It wasn't like a static picture. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes when people on the phone, it's black and it's like, you know, sometimes even hold it upside down and stuff. You know, they've not got the thought into it. But here, I always feel like when they're Skyping and stuff like that, the quality is not amazing and it makes it feel like that's how it actually is. You know what I mean? Like, when I FaceTime on my phone now, for example, even in 2024, yeah, the quality isn't the best. I mean, it is sometimes you're on Wi-Fi, but out and about sometimes it's crappy and grainy. And I don't know, I just like how they do that. And I also like as well how this show doesn't cover brands as well. At first, I always thought it was advertising because, like, the Coke bottles and everything was kind of on show to the camera. But you've seen it. They've had Mountain Dew, they've had Coca-Cola, Fanta, Sprite. Do you know what I mean? They've always got to talk about Dr. Pepper. They literally Diet Pepsi, everything. Even they drink Smart Water. Like, they don't hide the brands at all, where most shows do. So, I don't know. It just brings a real feel to things. I actually like it.
You do realize everyone's eating at Raj's again tonight.
Well, I didn't say the snacks were for you, now did I, Nosy Rosie? Be killing you wondering who. Fine, I'll tell you. There's Stuart from the comic book store, Barry Kripke from the university, Penny's ex-boyfriend Zach, and TV's LeVar Burton.
Okay, well, tell him I loved him on Star Trek.
Please, Leonard, stop trying to horn in on my new friends.
Okay.
Change is a part of life. I have guests coming. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to leave now.
I am leaving.
Don't make this harder than it is, Leonard.
Look at Leonard's face.
He'll be back. Well, it would appear LeVar Burton won't be joining us, so... Let's get started. I thought we'd begin by going around the room, introducing ourselves.
Hi, I'm Stuart. I run a comic book store, which for financial reasons I'm currently living in. What I'm hoping for most out of tonight is a hot shower.
Could you come back to me?
Of course.
Joey Kripke, and I'm here because you told me there was going to be a waffle?
Harry, the raffle is the grand finale to an evening-long festival of fun and folly.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm Zach, and I'm, Oh, crap, why is this so hard?
Oh, hey. Hi.
Yo, P-Dog.
What's up?
We're here to kidnap you for a girls' night out.
Now put this pillowcase over your head.
I'll do
Used to
it.
be much more fun until Leonard punched her in the heart.
I just thought you might want to go out and have a good time.
Okay, look, if I agree to go out with you guys, will you promise to stop pestering me about Leonard and Priya?
Yes.
Sure.
All right, I'll go change. Come on in.
After we get done snowboarding, I go back to the lodge and get in the jacuzzi. There's no one around, so naturally, I'm freeballing it.
Jacuzzi is a commercial brand. Hot tub is the generic term, i.e. all jacuzzis are hot tubs, but not all hot tubs are jacuzzis.
Is that like all thumbs are fingers, but not all fingers are thumbs?
I mean, he's kind of right, isn't he, really? He is, isn't he? Yeah, like, he is. That's mad, that.
Takes off all of her clothes, climbs into the hot tub, and the first thing I notice...
The water level rose. Archimedes, the ancient Greek mathematician, discovered the principle of displacement while taking a bath.
Terrific. Go ahead, Zach. Naked drunk girl freeballing. Continue.
The long story short, I nailed her.
When he finished, he shouted, Eureka!
No, I always shout, holy moly.
All right, that concludes the getting to know you portion of the evening. Now, who's ready to play some vintage video game? Pick me, I'm fun.
How about I go get the karaoke machine out of my car, get plastered, and blow the roof off this place?
Great, I'll make a beer run.
And I'll take a shower. We'll meet back here in 15.
Where'd you learn to make chili?
When I was at university in England, my flatmate was from Texas.
I hope she wasn't anything like my flatmate from Texas. did you know that per our roommate agreement, I have to wash my feet before I get in the shower? And not in the sink. We each have special buckets.
You ever tell your sister about the time Sheldon got punched by Bill Gates?
Gates gave a speech at the university. Sheldon went up to him afterwards and said, maybe if you weren't so distracted by sick children in Africa, you could have put a little more thought into Windows Vista. To a rare and wonderful Sheldon-free evening.
He's knocking on.
This is the first time we've ever done that without having to listen to Sheldon tell us why it's called a toast.
Why is it called a toast?
The ancient Romans put spiced toast in their punch bowl.
Sheldon
Be
tells it
missing.
better.
It's because, right, it's the way he delivers it. You know, he goes, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. And, like, he gets full of anxiety. He, like, turns from his seat and he sits there and he kind of just, like, he don't, do you know what I mean? Like, the answer could literally just be, like, 2 + 2 is 4. But, like, he'll say, well, if you do this, this, and this, and it was the person that discovered this, and he gives a full background to the story. Do you know what I mean? He's good at it.
Oh, hell, I miss him.
Yes, perhaps somewhere packed tightly with young, beautiful bodies, sweating and writhing against each other in a glorious orgy of the flesh.
Okay, let's go through this one more time. Just because Leonard has a new girlfriend does not mean I need to go out and hook up with some guy.
Pick out the hottest guy in the room, take him home, do unspeakable things to him, then kick him to the curb with a smile on his face.
What's that like?
I don't know. It's fun while you're doing it, and then after, it's mostly embarrassment.
Being on your own is new to you. I'd be happy to share some tension-relieving techniques for ladies I've perfected over the years. It appears to be something preserved between 2 pieces of acrylic.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
That's what
snowflake
Leonard
from the
got.
North Pole. Leonard gave it to me last year.
Oh, screw it. I can deal with a little self-loathing. Let's go find me a hiney to bite.
Don't go breaking my heart.
I couldn't if I tried.
Don't go breaking my heart.
I like these, you
Anybody
know.
still walking on sunshine yet? No. Dibs.
I'm sorry, Sheldon bought a loom and learned how to weave.
You actually got pretty good.
This is before or after he adopted the 25 cats?
Well, long before
Before,
the cats.
yeah.
I think it was around the time he tried to declare our apartment a sovereign nation.
All my friends. All my friends. All my friends.
Hey, I thought you were with your new buddies.
I had to leave.
Would you like some homemade chili?
Are there beans in it?
Yes.
Then it's not chili. Real chili has no beans in it.
Sheldon, do you want some or not?
Yes, please. Your girlfriend's a little short-tempered.
2 friends, no matter how quirky.
Cheers. Priya, do you know why this is called a toast?
Actually, I do. I believe the Romans used to put spiced toast in their punch bowl.
She's also a bit of a know-it-all. This is good. Whatever it is.
He loves commenting, doesn't he? He's always commenting. Oh, he turned up.
Oh, I don't think so. I am so done with Twitter.
Well, it's called X now, isn't it? And interestingly, right, do you know, I don't know if anybody else is in the opinion or the same boat as me or whatever you'd want to call it, but, you know, if you've watched the show with me from obviously season 1 up until this point, you know I'm a massive advocate for reoccurring characters and guest appearances. And, you know, I will always say that the more the merrier, the better. And I would love to establish a core of characters where you can implement them in and out the show throughout the season. Leslie was a great one. For some reason, they don't want to use Leslie anymore, and maybe they start using, you know, Stuart. Is that his name? Forgot now. Stuart from the comic book store. You know, he's kind of decent, to be honest. I don't really mind him, and a quick you know, I'm not his biggest fan, to be honest, but like he's always interesting when he's in there, and I'm not gonna lie, right? I actually think Zach is pretty decent. I actually do think he's pretty decent. Like, it's his personality. You know, he's a big dude, so he's got like an aura, big presence around him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when I look at him, I feel like he's got a big presence, but then he's kind of, because he's kind of dumb, it gives a good balance. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's different. And that's why I like it. Like, Stuart, yeah, all right, yeah, he runs a store. He's kind of a little nerd with them, but he's not on an intellectual level of them, so he's a little bit different. Quickie always, you know, he kind of like annoys Sheldon all the time, do you know what I mean? And they're always kind of back and forth in it, and I feel like Zach's really good as well. Like, if we could establish these as reoccurring people throughout the whole entire show and dip them here and there, like, I wouldn't want Zach to just, for example, disappear. Do you know what I mean? Because I actually think that he's pretty funny, to be honest. And I actually like his like, is it like flamboyant? His personality is bubbly, you know what I mean? He's not like sad and monotone. He's kind of like up and about and bouncing. And you know, I really enjoyed him. And yeah, they was having a good time there. You know, Levi was actually invited and turned up. Do you know what I mean? At least Sheldon didn't really get to see him as well. He would have been, he would have loved it, wouldn't he? He's probably devastated now. But you know, it's, you don't know what you got till it's gone. It's a classic old saying, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You think you can move on, you think you can get some new friends, but then it's just not the same, is it? The social environments, situations, the way you go around topics of discussions and stuff like that, you know, it's not as it always is perceived to be, where you think that it's going to be better when you change it, and it's not. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, don't break what's not, don't fix what's not broken, and that is literally the classic example here. So, you know, interesting episode. I enjoyed it, and like I said, if we can get more of the recurring characters into the show more often, then I would love to see it. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So we had like 3 different groups of friends today, didn't we? We had the girls, which I'm all for. I'm enjoying it this season. I'm glad we've introduced them. We had the new gang of Sheldon and his friends. And then we had the old gang kind of with Priya. And it's interesting to see, obviously, all of them and the way they're acting in their different, like, kind of like social groups. Now, interestingly, you know, Penny, she's going back out on the prowl. Do you know what I mean? She's going around to maybe get a hookup, you know what I mean? To pull the hottest guy in the club. And it's going to be interesting to see, obviously, if we get an aftermath of that in tomorrow's episode. Do you know what I mean? Because, yeah, okay, we see them go out, but we didn't see them go out. You know what I mean? We had the insinuation of it, and I would like to see how she reacts in those situations. Like, does she want to start hitting on people? Then she's like, I don't really like this. I actually want to be with Leonard. Or is she going to go and let loose, and then she's going to do the walk of shame like Leonard done a couple of episodes back and maybe get caught? You know, it'd be really good to actually see that. And obviously, we got Raj and Priya hosting events now, which is interesting. I don't really know why I understand that Priya's there, you know what I mean, like in his apartment, but like I wonder why they decided we'll start doing it here. It's always kind of strange to see the different rooms, if that makes sense, you know, because you get so used to everybody. It's like, for example, How I Met Your Mother, you get used to them all sitting around, you know, was it Ted's apartment? And then obviously they was all sat around the bar. You know, if you go to Friends, you see them all in Monica's apartment mainly, and then obviously they're all in the coffee shop. And then obviously here, you see them all sat around Sheldon's apartment. Basically, that's where they always congregate. And then sometimes you see them at the university sat around the tables. But apart from that, you might see the odd visit here and there to, you know what I mean, to Raj's house and to Howard's house. But we don't really see them congregate in, you know, the living room and stuff like that, and have parties and that. So that was interesting. Also, last episode, I was saying, mate, you know, Priya said something and Raj was like, mate, we sound exactly the same. And he commented, and I said, no, she sounds like she's got a bit of English in hers. And then obviously, talking in today's episode, she was talking about England as well. And it's like, yes, she does have, like, sometimes when I'm listening to Priya talk, right, she sounds Indian. And other times, I think she sounds English. And it's like a hybrid between them both. I'd actually like to know, like, what her native nationality is. Is she Indian English? You know what I mean? Is she born in England but from an Indian heritage? Or obviously she from an Indian family and obviously with an English background, you know, she moved here. Because I personally think that when Priya's talking, I hear a mix between the English and Indian, to be honest. So she's actually been in a few episodes this season, maybe like 4 or 5, which I think is actually quite a lot considering we're 17 episodes in. Let's just say she was in 5 of them. Do you know what I mean? She would nearly be in a quarter. Do you know what I mean? She's in like 2 more episodes. She would have been a quarter of the season, like, which I think is quite a lot, to be honest. So that's really interesting. And we're going to progress forward with them or not. And is Howard still in a relationship with Bernadette? Did they break up when they had that argument, bickering? Glad that she was in it a bit more. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like Amy's the one that's been used more over them too, but no complaints from me because we are getting girls groups, which I actually really enjoy, and I feel like it's going to be good for all 3 of them and Penny moving forward into the further seasons. So thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.